Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning, 18-year-old charged with St. Andrew man's murder. An 18-year-old has been charged with a murder after he allegedly shot and killed a man on Sunday, August 25. Charged is Alonzo Roden, otherwise called the Little King, a molder of Fairview Avenue, Kingston. Roden is charged with the murder of 28-year-old Siobhan Guthrie, otherwise called the Brady, of Marie Drive, also in the parish. He is also charged with possession of prohibited weapon, unauthorized possession of ammunition, and using a prohibited weapon to commit an offense. Reports are that about 10:45 p.m., Guthrie was walking along the roadway when he was reportedly pounced upon by Roden, who was armed with a handgun. It is alleged that Roden opened the gunfire, hitting Guthrie multiple times. The police were alerted, and on arrival, Guthrie was seen lying in blood. He was transported to the hospital, where he was confirmed dead. Roden was arrested and charged on Wednesday, September 18. A court date for him is now being finalized. Brothers drown in Portland. The farming community of Skibo in West Portland has been plunged into mourning following the death of two brothers who drowned during a family celebration on Thursday. According to the police and the family members, the unfortunate incident involved a 19-year-old boy who was visiting from overseas and his 31-year-old sibling. According to reports, the 19-year-old was in Jamaica with his father, visiting his grandparents and other family members in Skibo, and decided to take a swim in a nearby river sometime in the day. The teenager reportedly got into difficulty and his brother jumped in to assist, but his rescue efforts were unsuccessful and they both drowned. Mother hands over teen son to police for stealing shotgun. A 15-year-old boy of tenement Granville in St. James has been charged with housebreaking and larceny following an incident in his community between Sunday, September 8 and Thursday, September 12. According to police reports, on Thursday, September 12, a man returned home and discovered that culprits had pried open the window of a bedroom and entered his house. Further checks were made and he realized that the locks on his metal safe were open and his Remington shotgun, valued at $85,000, was missing. A report was made to the police, and on Friday, September 13, an operation was conducted at the tenement Granville in St. James, where the gun was recovered in a vegetated area. On Saturday, September 14, the teen was handed over to the police by his mother. He was subsequently charged. A court date for him is being finalized. Accused in 15-year-old Trelawny girl's murder remanded. The three men charged in connection with the murder of 15-year-old student Jamila Cole of Troy High School in Trelawny were remanded when they appeared in the Trelawny Parish Court on Thursday. Presiding Judge Paula Archer Hall was told that the files for the cases were incomplete. She then remanded the men and set October 18 for them to return to court. The men charged are Tyrese Brown of Freeman's Hall, Timoy Brown of Albertown, and Jamian Brock of Albertown. Cole was murdered in her home at the Cotton Tree District on August 6, 2023. Her mother, Shanice Anderson, and the cousin, Kayla Dawson, were also beaten in the early morning attack. Barita Investments referred to FSC over $50 million loan to Holness's company. Barita Investments has come under scrutiny in relation to a $50 million loan issued in 2021 to Imperium, a company wholly owned by Prime Minister Andrew Holness. The Integrity Commission has recommended that the Financial Services Commission conduct a further probe into the transaction to determine if Barita's practices are consistent with the law and the conditions of the license under which it operates. In its investigation report into the Prime Minister's financial affairs, the Integrity Commission noted irregularities in the disbursement of the loan, leading it to conclude that an unsecured loan was provided where a secured loan was intended. The loan was predicated on collateral including 10 million shares in Diamond Trading Limited, a legal mortgage on a property owned by Imperium, and an insurance policy. But Director of Investigation Kevin Stevenson revealed that at the time the loan was issued, Imperium did not actually own the Diamond shares. Additionally, the property was transferred in Imperium's name about 8 months after the loan was issued, and the critical details on the insurance policy were missing. The Commission said the mortgage discrepancy meant that it could not be registered, creating a significant gap in the loan's security. Following queries by the Director of Investigation regarding the unregistered mortgage, an officer at Barita explained that it was not unusual business practice with regards to premium customers, and discretion is usually applied where the risk is deemed to be low. But the Principal Director of National Integrity Action, Daniel Archer, believes that the Prime Minister has a duty to explain the transaction in question.
How is it that you're able to get a loan for a company without collateral and proper asset tracing? Could that happen to the small man? Could a little man go in and get a $50 million loan without more?
In the meantime, Ms. Archer encouraged members of the public to read the Integrity Commission's report for themselves. She was responding to a statement in the House of Representatives on Tuesday in which Prime Minister Andrew Holness seemingly suggested that he was being unfairly targeted.
The weaponization of accusations of corruption is nothing new in politics. However, even the most skeptical onlooker must conclude that the handling of this matter, the time it has taken, the public resources used to pursue it, raise cause for concern on many levels.
The NIA's principal director argued that Mr. Holness appeared defensive in his response, even as she urged members of the public to make their own assessment of the contents of the report.
Get a copy. If you can't get a copy, ask somebody to get it for you. Have your meetings. Go through it yourself to see that it is not a witch hunt.
St. James High teacher cries a fall over withheld pay. The ongoing saga between St. James High School principal Joseph Williams and the teachers accusing him of victimization has turned out yet another chapter, with a veteran teacher now accusing him of withholding her salary without a justification. According to the English teacher, Carrot Brown Lewis, after not receiving her August salary, she went to the school's bursar to find out why and was shown a document signed by Williams instructing the bursar to withhold the payment. I noticed that my salary was not in my account on the 25th of August, so the first week of school, I went to the bursar to find out why I wasn't paid. She gave me a one-page letter that only says authorization is given not to pay Carter Brown Lewis. I asked her why, and she said she doesn't have an answer because she was not given an explanation, said Brown Lewis, who says she has 18 years of experience in the classroom. Brown Lewis said she subsequently learned that her salary was withheld due to her failure to submit the final grades and the scripts for the students' end-of-term examinations on a timely basis. However, she said she was told that the scripts were not due until September 10, which would be 8 days after the start of the new school year. When the news contacted Williams, he said that Brown Lewis's salary was withheld because she failed to submit the grades and the scripts for the grade 7 students she taught last school year. She did not submit the grades to meet the deadlines. There were 2 deadlines and she didn't meet any, and after the reports were printed, she entered the school management system and entered some grades. But based on the system here, when you mark scripts for students, you also have to bring them into the head of department, and usually I would check to see if they are really marked, said Williams. In rubbishing Brown Lewis's claim that the scripts were due on September 10, Williams said that could not be, since the end-of-year reports were handed out to parents and guardians in July. That would be so ridiculous. If the exam was in June and the school resumed on the 2nd of September, how could the deadline be September 10? The dates for reports to be collected are in July. She taught grade 7, and that's the first set of reports that were given out on July 29, explained Williams. To compound the issue, Williams told the news that discrepancies were found in the scripts Brown Lewis belatedly submitted last weekend. We realized that the grades she entered late in the SMS do not correspond with the marked scripts that she has now brought in, said Williams. In her complaints to the news, Brown Lewis admitted she did not return the scripts before September 10 because she was afflicted by a bout of flu. She said some teachers were also late in their submission but were not similarly penalized, hence her claim of discrimination. They were informed that I was very ill, and of course I crumbled because I had a terrible flu. I still put the grades on so the students could get the grades on their report cards, said Brown Lewis. Brown Lewis was up to Tuesday lamenting that despite the fact that she had returned the scripts to the school, she had still not received her salary. I cannot wait for another pay period because by now my bills are backed up and everybody is calling me, she said. Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.